Hi, today I'd like to show you a few more world coins. Here is one from China, Guangdong area, 1890 to 1903. Quite good condition, I'd say it's very fine. Nice piece of silver. This is, I think it is, this one we got a lovely dragon. And then you got the 4.4 Candaries, or whatever that is, says. And it says Guangdong Province. Lovely dragon. All the detail is very highlighted. So this is part of the end of the empire, beginning of the republic. Guangdong. Another one we've got is Latvia. This one's 1922. So Latvia had been part of the Russian Empire up until the Bolshevik Revolution, when it became free for a little while. So in 1922 it was still a free independent country, and then eventually it was taken over by the Soviet Union. And then after the collapse of the Soviet Union, it became an independent republic again. So this is the first time since the Middle Ages that Latvia had been an independent country. So it was. And there's the coat of arms of Latvia, 1922. So that's that sort of between the wars period. Here we got one of the Dominican Republic. Nice little coconut tree there. Dominican Republic is part of the, I believe it's the island of Hispaniola, which is divided between Haiti on one end and Dominican Republic on the other. So Haiti is almost a failed state now, while Dominican Republic is quite well off. So it's strange, two countries on the same island, and yet one has prospered and the other one has failed. And then again you got the coat of arms and Dominican Republic on it. So this one is 1947, so just after the Second World War. Here's a few Indian ones. Madras, where you curry, Madras curry. It was part of the British Empire, but a lot of these statelets had their own Maharajas and kings. And this is Madras, so you can see like an Arabic script they used, but on the bottom it's got some Roman lettering. So this is 1807 Madras. On the other side again we got some different script. So this was the period of the Napoleonic Wars. Here we got one of Bengal, 1 pi, 1831 to 1835. And some lettering in, looks like Arabic type script, and in Hindu or Bengali script. Another one we got Mysore, where we got, I think you might just be able to see it, an elephant. Mysore, 1811 to 33. Elephant there. Some writing at the top. And again, some more script there. It's got cash, I think, at the bottom there. That 10 cash, something like that. Another one, Baroda, is that 1892? This might be a Maharaja or something like that, or princeling. Again, you've got Hindu date there. This is maybe another Indian one, 1917, Gwalior, the arms there. Again, you've got the Maharaja or princeling on that side. Not very well defined, but not too bad. This one, a bit further away, Newfoundland, 1917, 10 cents. Newfoundland, now part of Canada, but up to about, I think it was 1940s, it had become a separate little state. And then it was brought into Canada quite late compared with other little statelets of Canada. Because you had New Brunswick, you had Newfoundland, you had some other little places, and you had Canada states have got together about 1860s or something like that, I think it was. But this one was a late addition to Canada. So 1917, 10 cents. There you have George V with his imperial, I think that's the imperial crown on his head. This one we've got Chile. So South America, right down that little slither next to Argentina. 1933, 1 peso. There you've got there's a vulture or something like that. The emblem of Chile, so it must be something that, is that a condor maybe? Or, I'm not sure if it's condor or a vulture. It comes from the high Himalayas, not Himalayas, sorry, Andes. Get that right? Nicely portrait there. Then I had 3 of these, I've shown in the past these German coins, which they are very similar, but every year they seem to change their die, and so there is slight differences between each one. So this one's 1707, Brunswick, Wolfenstein, I think this one is. And these all eventually became Anton Ulrich. It was the prince or head of that state, but now that they all became part of Hanover in the end and were eventually taken over, well, they were part of the royal possessions of the George I, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and William IV of Britain, because they were also kings of Hanover. They took these as their possessions as well, as personal possessions. But when Queen Victoria came, because the Hanoverian constitution said that a woman could not take the throne, she could not become Queen of Hanover, and so Queen Victoria never became Queen of Hanover, and Hanover went to another relation. But from George I up to I think William IV, Hanover was a personal possession of the kings of Britain. So you've got him there with his little wild man outfit. So if you want to look at some more of these, I think I did a video about German coinage. But these are very strange because they're quite large coins, but they differ very slightly each year. So that was 1707. This one is 1709. Again, it is Brunswick Wolfenstein. But if you see this one compared with that one, looking at these bits here, they're slightly different. Slightly different. And also the ground at the bottom is slightly different. So nearly every year they seem to have changed their pattern. And again, it's got very similar. 24 Marion Groschen. The gentleman I buy these from, he had about 30 of them. I've got about 22 or 3 now. So I've only got about 8 more to get, and I'll have taken all these collection. And he got them from somebody all as one batch. Slightly different because this is on the other side, different thing, and this is George I. And this one is Brunswick, I think it's Lubeck or something like that. Again, there's a few of these, and all slightly different. It's slightly different. This slightly different. The ground is slightly different, and sometimes the figure itself is slightly different. But again, it's got a wild man on there, and again, it's got very similar back. So 24 Marion Groschen. So the backs are very similar. But the man holds the pole in his different hand, so you know the difference between the two. Well, I hope that was of interest, and I'll come back to you with some more. I've got many now coins I'd like to show you. So if you're interested in coins, please subscribe. It all helps. Please give it a like. Please give us a comment, and I'll come back to you again soon. Right, bye.